Empires is a very lore-heavy SMP. You've got a cat disguised as a human, an evil demon, a guy in love with that demon, and so much more crazy shit that it can be sometimes hard to keep up with. There's one member in particular who knocks it out of the park. If you have been keeping up with Mythical Sausage, then you probably know that he is one of the most lore-heavy YouTubers on the Empire's SMP. His backstory for Season 2 is already a story on its own, not to mention the larger overarching story Sausage has been telling over the course of the first and second season of Empires. If you need a little refresher, for Season 2, Mythical Sausage embodies the character of Sausage, protector of Sanctuary, a holy warrior dedicated to Saint Pearl, the goddess of sunflowers. When Sausage was just a wee lad, he lived in a peaceful kingdom full of people with magical superpowers. Sausage would soon discover that he had a superpower of his own, the power to talk to animals, which is how he came to be friends with his dog, Bubbles. His kingdom was widely populated by humanoid rabbit folk known as herons, and one of these rabbit people in particular, the great magical blacksmith Edmund or Eddie, took a young Sausage under his wing while his mother was away working her job at the castle. However, when his mother mysteriously passed away, Eddie took Sausage under his wing and raised him as his own. Little did he know that disaster was coming. On a night known as the Great Purge, the evil tyrant of Sausage's kingdom, who grew jealous of the magical powers of his own citizens, drained the magical powers of almost everyone and killed anyone else who got in his way. Sausage fled on that fateful night, Edmundo telling him to run because the blacksmith knew there was something different about Sausage, something special. This was the start of the Empire of Sanctuary, an empire Sausage built in a magical jungle as a safe haven for the survivors of the Great Purge. The king's assassins are still out there, somewhere, hunting down Sausage to this very day. Since then, Sausage has remained the sole defender of Sanctuary. While his backstory hasn't come much into play yet, Sausage's backstory to his backstory definitely has. You see, Sausage used to worship the goddess Saint Pearl in his previous kingdom when he was a boy, and after coming across the Mother of Sunflower statue in Pixel Rift's ancient Capita, began to worship her once again. After descending into the catacombs underneath the statue and finding a tombstone mysteriously inscribed with the message, "Here lies Mythical Sausage," Sausage also came upon a mural of Saint Pearl and a lectern that read, "Grant his next life a bountiful harvest." Pixel Rifts has stated that the tombstones in the catacombs are specifically for kings of old, so I am willing to bet that the tombstone is dedicated to none other than Lord Sausage of Mythland from Season 1 of Empires, and the message to grant his life a bountiful harvest likely means that the people who created the catacombs wanted Saint Pearl to bless Lord Sausage with a better life the next time he reincarnated. Further backing up this theory, when Sausage of Sanctuary read that message, he was given a vision of his past life, Lord Sausage, when he was good friends with Farmer Pearl, Emperor of Gilda Telianthia. Sausage has even stated that this pearl is one and the same with Saint Pearl, so it is all but confirmed that they are in fact one and the same. But who was Lord Sausage of Mythland and why was his life so rough? For that, we need to rewind back to Season 1. Little did Lord Sausage know what would be coming when he originally built his summoning circle during episode 15 of Season 1. Sausage initially used the summoning circle to call his magical dog Bubbles into the world of Empires. But as you can imagine, not everything that came out of the portal was a good thing. You see, after the gnome Shrubberry accidentally released Zonoth into the world of Empires, Sausage naturally began getting visits from everyone's favorite demon, Zonoth. Sausage first encountered this demon while with Count Fwip of the Gremlins. Naturally, Lord Sausage, as a practitioner of dark magic, took a liking to the demon upon their first meeting, even joking around that he might join Zonoth. In the next episode, Sausage did just that. After making a deal with Zonoth, Sausage promised to help kill the End Dragon, the only creature that was holding Zonoth back from attaining his full power, so he can wreak havoc to the server. The demon began following Sausage around, and although he tried to hide it, Wizard Gem from the Crystal Cliffs, Sausage's magical tutor, was sure that he had made a deal with the demon. Once he had received a message from Zonoth written in Elvish that translates to "release me" in English, Sausage read that incantation and threw threw it into the summoning circle, allowing Zarnath to gain more power in the world of empires. After Count Whip and Wizard Gem caught on that Sausage was actually becoming the champion of Zarnath, they battled the Dark Lord in the Nether, and the duo quickly realized that they were outclassed. Zarnath had blessed Sausage a ton of powers, making him virtually unkillable. Whip and Gem would leave Sausage behind after being defeated, telling him that they were no longer allies. A little while later, Zarnath would tell Sausage that should he kill the Ender Dragon and release the demon's full power, he would be granted all kinds of power of his own. Sausage would later team up with Emperor Joey of the Lost Empire, who was in love with the demon himself, and with their scheming, they managed to trick the Codfather Alliance into helping them slay the Ender Dragon. Following the battle, Sausage was granted the power he was promised. This was the moment when Sausage Supreme, Lord Sausage's alter ego, was born. Despite all of his newfound power, Sausage was afraid that Zarnath might betray him in the end, so he asked Bubbles to gather the Council of Bubbles should Zarnath's corruption ever take full control of him. Sausage would later be paid a visit by Sir Carlos, a chicken friend, who informed Sausage that he must enter the spirit realm to remove the corruption within with the help of his secretly powerful dog, Bubbles. However, after Lord Sausage received the Great Staff of Mythland, a special staff that could transcend the powers of time and space, Sausage Supreme vowed to use its power to take down the other empires. Sausage Supreme would go on to do several evil things, such as when he tried to recruit Pearl to the dark side, when he and Joey kidnapped Gem and Scott, or when he slaughtered each and every emperor in a battle arena alongside Zarnath. Sausage's supreme corruption had become nearly 100%. There was one last glimmer of hope to take him down for good. In one final confrontation between Wizard Gem and Sausage Supreme, the mages battled it out, with Wizard Gem finally managing to slay the Warlock. But with his death came new life. You see, after passing away, Lord Sausage awoke in the spirit realm. He began the purification process. A book informed Sausage that he must travel through 6 portals that would take him to the worlds from his previous lives. And while there, he must collect the thing he loves most, Bubbles, and bring her back to the spirit realm. After traveling to the worlds of his Hardcore, 1-Block Skyblock, Source Block SMP, Hardcore Season 1, Legacy Season 1, and Single Player Series, Sausage collected the variants of Bubbles from across the multiverse, creating one large council of Bubbles, and allowing Sausage to pass safely back into the world of empires, completely uncorrupted. Sausage Supreme was seemingly trapped in another dimension, and Zarnath was sealed away not long after in ice. Things were going well for Sausage for the rest of the season. That is, until the Gremlin's explosion caused a blood sheep to rain from the sky of Mythland, and the explosion also caused Sausage's best friend, Pearlescent Moon, to wither away, as she was magically connected to the land of her now destroyed Empire of Gilda Teleanthea. In one final attempt to fix all his wrongdoings, Lord Sausage returned to the summoning circle, while Bubbles made her way to the council to escape the danger. Sausage destroyed the summoning circle with a ritual, exploding the entire thing and taking him with it. But at least, now Sausage Supreme couldn't use the portal to travel out of his prison in the alternate dimension. In the alternate world, Sausage Supreme vowed his revenge, claiming Sausage had made a big mistake as he broke Zarnath out from his icy seal and consumed the crystal that kept the demon at bay. That brings us back to Season 2. We have seen Sausage of Sanctuary recently discovering that he has the power to slip between alternate worlds. Not only has Sausage been plagued with visions from the other worlds, such as when he traveled to the Afterlife SMP when he met Ollie, or when he traveled to Hermitcraft Season 8 when he met B-Dubs, but he has even transported 1,000 years back in time to Season 1, where he met a variant of Bubbles with a grey collar. This Bubbles revealed to Sausage that all Bubbles across the multiverse are connected, and they can all communicate with each other across time and space. Sausage's lore is really something, isn't it? When Sausage most recently traveled back to Season 1 world, he came face to face with Sausage Supreme, indicating that he had likely not traveled to the version of Season 1 that we all know and love, but the parallel dimension that Sausage Supreme is trapped in. Sausage Supreme declared that he had become much more powerful after consuming the crystal that held Zarnath's essence, and he plans to use his power to get revenge on Wizard Gem. He also planned on somehow re-emerging with Sausage of Sanctuary, which would allow him to travel back to the world of empires and create create the chaos he has always intended. Thankfully, Bubbles was nearby and managed to chase Sausage Supreme off, but I don't think that this is the last we will ever see of him. In fact, I think Sausage Supreme's reign has only begun.